If you've been living under a rock for the past month, then you might not know that Bethesda has been making some massive changes to basically all combat in Fallout 76, coming with the Season 21 update in a few months. With this comes some positives and some negatives, and the energy weapon category is not immune from these changes. We all knew it was coming eventually, so let's talk about all the changes for energy weapons, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and see what they did to our beloved weapon category. So just like all the other last change videos, I will quickly talk about all these changes that Bethesda has released regarding the energy weapon category. Then we'll talk about the standout positives, which unfortunately there aren't many with this whole entire update. And then we'll go into the unfortunately large amount of negatives and nerfs. You could already tell my opinion of these changes, but here we go. Without further ado, here is the list, and let's talk about it. Up first on the list, we have reduced the maximum cone of fire for the Gatling Plasma, and reduced recoil for the Gatling Plasma, which I guess are some positives. But for the first weapon mod adjustment out of the few, we have the Gatling Plasma Beam Splitter mod adjustments. The fire rate reduction went from negative 20% to negative 35%. The damage bonus went from 20% to 35%. The cone of fire and recoil were increased. The range was reduced. The projectile count was increased from 4 to 5, the ammo capacity was reduced by 50%, and the AP cost was increased by 50%. So a mixed bag of emotions there, but we'll break it down in a little bit. Next we have the Plasma and Enclave Plasma Gun Splitter mod adjustments. We have the fire rate being reduced by a whopping 35%. The range is reduced by an undisclosed amount. The ammo capacity is reduced by 50%. The damage bonus, however, is increased from 15.5% to 35%. The cone of fire is reduced. The recoil is reduced. And the AP cost was 100% down to 50%. So a little bit of a mixed bag there. Also, the Plasma and Enclave Plasma Flamer mod adjustments. Here we go. This one is important because a lot of people main this weapon. The AP cost set to 30, reduced by 30%, so that's always good to see. The ammo capacity set to 300, it was increased by 400%. Note, for a base plasma gun, this would result in 150 capacity times 30 plus 30 times 4 in the parentheses right there if you want to do the math. But it just comes out to 150. Removed 40% damage bonus, which is rather unfortunate. And then now it has the same penalties to damage minus 30%, critical attack damage minus 20%, and sneak attack damage minus 20% as other semi-auto automatic weapons, which is, again, unfortunate, a mixed bag of emotions, but we'll break it down. The Plasma and Enclave Plasma Gun Spinner automatic mod adjustments. Removed increase to cone of fire. Removed increase to AP cost. Removed 10% ammo capacity penalty, and again, it now has the same penalties to damage minus 30%, critical attack damage minus 20%, and sneak attack damage minus 20% as other semi-auto weapons, which kind of sucks. And finally, we have the nail in the coffin, the base damage adjustments for the following weapons. The Plasma Gun is going from 58 physical damage, 58 energy damage, to 39 physical damage, 39 energy damage, which is a smack in the face. Then the Enclave Plasma Gun is going from 71 physical damage, 71 energy damage, down to 57 physical damage, 57 energy damage, and the Gatling Plasma, for some odd reason, is going from 35 physical damage, 35 energy damage, down to 31 physical damage and 31 energy damage. Some of these weapons are definitely getting nerfed a lot more than the other ones, but let's talk about the positives that come with these changes. Like I said, we're going to talk about the positives, even though there aren't that many with these changes. Obviously, I'm a little pessimistic about the whole thing, but there are some positives that come with these changes that are double-edged swords, really, if you just want to look at them as positives without talking about the negatives that come with them. Obviously, I'm a little pessimistic about this whole thing, but let's just talk about it. Basically, all mods that are talked about in this video are getting a straight damage buff, but there's a double-edged sword that I will talk about in a minute, because the last thing that we just spoke about was the fact that the raw weapon damage is getting decreased for all of these weapons that the mods are being placed on, so that little increase in damage does not really matter when they're being decreased so much. But for example, the Gatling Plasma Beam Splitter mod is going from 20% damage to 35% damage. The Enclave Plasma Gun Splitter is going from 15.5% damage to 35% damage, so they are just increasing basically all of the damages. But more importantly, the Enclave Flamer Plasma mod and the normal Plasma Flamer is getting a lot of attention, as you saw in the list, and as you see here, it's getting a AP reduction, which is really nice, and it's getting a ammo capacity increase, which it will be really fun. However, it's getting a huge damage reduction, which we will talk about in 1 second, but those are the positives that I could see coming with these changes. I guess if you want to be one of those people that really hate people that use heavy weapons or that use energy weapons for some odd reason, you're happy about this. But for the rest of the Fallout community that doesn't really care or that uses these weapons, you're going to be upset and you're going to notice a huge change to your performance and your output of DPS. Unfortunately, the crown has kind of been taken away from the Enclave Flamer, at least with this update in terms of energy weapons. Who knows, maybe the plain laser weapons will just do an insane amount of damage that we don't even care about these changes. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There are a lot of obvious nerfs coming with all of these changes. Not everything can be perfect. Unfortunately, as you saw in the full list, basically all of our favorite energy weapons are getting a straight up damage nerf, which is unfortunate, but again, they are doing a lot of good things with the other weapon types, so I guess maybe we could kind of counteract those two. I don't know. I feel like they didn't need to make all these changes, but let's go into them real quick. The negatives and the buffs, and the nerfs, as we previously talked about at the end of the list. The plasma gun is going down by nearly 20 points of raw damage, going from 58 physical damage, 58 energy damage, to 39 physical damage and 39 energy damage, which is terrible, and people will definitely notice that 100%. There's just no point, in my opinion, of doing that. Next up, the Enclave Plasma, which is a pretty difficult gun to get all of the correct mods that you want for, is getting done dirty too. Unfortunately, it's going from 71 physical damage, 71 energy damage to 57 physical damage, 57 energy damage, which is so unfortunate, again, because it could be a huge pain in the ass to farm all the mods for this weapon and to actually get a good Enclave Flamer. It shouldn't be getting this huge of a nerf. I understand that it was overpowered a little bit, but you could just bring other weapons up to the same category and the same level instead of just nerfing it into the ground. Finally, the Gatling Plasma is also getting a nerf, but thankfully not that bad. We still need a main raid weapon besides the auto axe. It's going down from 35 physical damage, 35 energy damage to 31 physical damage, 31 energy damage. Not that bad, but again, it's still sad as hell and just kind of unnecessary to lower it by 4 damage. Like, you didn't change the meta there, but I mean, whatever. Before we end the video, I just want to give my final thoughts. I love the buffs, obviously. They're not too crazy at all, just small AP reductions for certain energy weapons, and then some slight damage increase to putting mods on some energy weapons. I love them trying to get people to use the splitter mods and everything like that, but these damage nerfs are kind of uncalled for. Don't get me wrong, the Enclave Flamer was great, but not ridiculously broken, and why reduce the Gatling Plasma by only 4 damage? What the hell is the point of that? I think these changes were a little nearsighted, but we can only hope they'll add some damage back to these weapons in the future, or maybe they'll make a change after seeing the negative reaction to people using these weapons on the PTS, or maybe Bethesda won't give a damn about what their fans think and continue to push whatever they want. But it is what it is. This update won't make the Enclave Flamer or the Plasma Flamer completely unusable. It's still going to be one of the best guns in the game, especially if you run a commando build. You'll still have all of those buffs, but it is still sad that they're nerfing them by this much. Again, the whole entire thing that they should be doing is, instead of nerfing the current meta, they should just be bringing weapons up to the same level and same category of god tier of these weapons. It's not that hard to do. You just buff everything, really, and then even slightly tweak the enemy health so we're not one-shotting everything with a golf club. And there we have it, ladies and gents of the Wasteland. There's the whole list of energy weapon changes as of right now. They obviously could add more or change some of these current changes that they have listed, but this should be coming out with the Season 21 update in a few months. Personally, as you can tell, I'm not a huge fan of these changes. I would just rather have them leave these weapons alone and bring up all the other weapons closer to the level of the Enclave Flamer or Gatling Plasma. The Fixer is getting a nerf this update, or is getting a buff this update, excuse me, but the Gatling Plasma is getting nerfed. Just think about that. What do you think about these changes? Let me know in the comments. And as always, I appreciate you motherfuckers for watching this motherfucking video, and I will see you in the Wasteland. Go out and prepare for these changes. If you main any of these weapons besides the Gatling Plasma, go and look for a new weapon. Don't worry, they're buffing a lot of weapons, though. I'll leave the video that I made of the full list of the ranged weapons in the description, so you could go and check it out and see all of the weapons that are actually getting buffs, so you maybe could switch up your playstyle a little bit.